Alvarez's team developed the APS-20 system operating at 3000 MHz, 10 times higher frequency with correspondingly greater resolution. The technical specifications documented in Navy Bureau of Aeronautics records revealed the system's revolutionary capabilities. The magnetron transmitter generated 50 kilobars of peak power through a waveguide antenna array measuring 80 in diameter. The system could maintain continuous 360-degree scanning while discriminating targets as small as a submarine's conning tower at ranges exceeding 150 meters under optimal atmospheric conditions. Initial testing at Quonset Point Naval Air Station in November 1942 demonstrated capabilities that exceeded theoretical predictions. Test flights using a captured German submarine revealed that the APS-20 could detect a fully submerged boat at periscope depth from 75 meters away. When submarines surfaced for battery charging, a requirement every 18 to 20 hours, detection range extended to 200 meters. The critical innovation involved signal processing techniques developed specifically for submarine detection. Traditional radar distinguished targets by size and reflectivity. The APS-20 use Doppler shift analysis to identify movement patterns characteristic of submarines. Surface vessels maintain steady courses and speeds. Submarines moved in distinctive patterns. Approach, dive, surface, charge batteries, submerge again. Dr. Harold Z's signal analysis team at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, developed classification algorithms that could distinguish submarine signatures from surface vessels, whales, or atmospheric interference. The system analyzed target movement over time intervals, identifying acceleration patterns impossible for surface ships to maintain. Production began at Western Electric's Kearney, New Jersey facility in January 1943. Each APS-20 system required 847 precision components, including the revolutionary magnetron tubes manufactured exclusively at Bell Telephone Laboratories. The complete system weighed 650 LEBs and required extensive aircraft modifications for installation. The TBF Avenger aircraft proved ideal for radar operations. Its internal bomb bay could accommodate the entire APS-20 system while maintaining external hardpoints for depth charges or acoustic torpedoes. Power requirements necessitated additional generators, but the Avenger's Wright R2600 engine provided sufficient electrical capacity. Installation procedures required removing the aircraft's dorsal gun turret and replacing it with the radar antenna dome. Internal modifications included installing 3 additional radio operators' positions, signal, processing equipment, and navigation plotting tables. Each modified aircraft represented a flying radar station with immediate attack capability. By March 1943, 16 escort carriers operated in the North Atlantic, each carrying 4 APS-20 equipped aircraft. The system created overlapping radar coverage across primary submarine transit routes between German bases and Atlantic hunting grounds. German intelligence remained completely unaware of these capabilities. Captured Allied aircraft had been examined, but the APS-20 installations were classified above German intelligence penetration levels. No German agent had accessed information about airborne centimeter radar development. March 22, 1943. 06:15 hours, USS Bogue operating 300 miles northeast of the Azores, Lieutenant Commander David Harrison received the mission briefing that would demonstrate whether 18 months of secret development could change the course of the Battle of the Atlantic. Intelligence reports indicated a German Wolfpack concentration in grids, square BE-47 threatening convoy ONS-1 carrying critical supplies to Britain. The APS-20 equipped TBF Avengers had been operational for 6 weeks, but previous contacts had escaped before attack aircraft could close to weapons range. Today would mark the first coordinated hunter-killer operation using real-time radar tracking. Aviation Electronics Technician, 2nd AS Thomas Scanner. Riley occupied the radar operator position aboard Avenger 23, callsign Bloodhound. His APS-20 console displayed 200 meters of North Atlantic Ocean as green phosphorescent traces on a circular scope. At 06:27 hours, Riley detected the first submarine contact at bearing 045 degrees, range 127 mmyacht, contact designated Romeo 1. Riley transmitted submerged submarine bearing 045, range 127 Poseidon, estimated course 180 degrees, speed 6 knots. Within minutes, 3 additional radar contacts appeared on scopes from different aircraft. The German Wolfpack that intelligence had predicted was materializing on American radar screens in real time. U-boat U-191, U-628, U-384, and U-447 were converging on convoy ONS-1 following standard brutal tactic procedures. German submarine commanders had no indication they were being tracked. Captain Leighton Heinrich Wiffber, commanding U-628, had received orders to establish contact with the Allied convoy and guide pack members into attack positions. His submarine maintained course 195 degrees at periscope depth using standard approach procedures that had succeeded in dozens of previous operations. At 0645 hours, VBER ordered U-628 to periscope depth for navigation verification. The periscope observation lasted 38 seconds, sufficient time for the submarine's conning tower to generate a radar return detectable at 89 metmodern range by scanner Riley's equipment. Romeo 2 has surfaced, Riley reported, bearing 038, range 89 meter, contact is stationary, probably charging batteries or conducting periscope observation. Harrison coordinated the attack through precise vectoring instructions to all 4 Avengers. Unlike previous anti-submarine operations that relied on visual sighting or sonar detection, the APS-20 data. German submarines could not hide beneath the surface when their periodic surfacing requirements created detectable radar signatures. At 0703 hours, Lieutenant Junior Grade Robert Mitchell, piloting Avenger 31, achieved visual contact with U-628 at 4-mile range. The German submarine was running submerged at periscope depth, completely unaware of approaching aircraft. Mitchell's depth charge attack achieved perfect placement. 4 Mark 54. Depth charges detonated in a precise pattern around U-628's estimated position. The submarine was forced to emerge and surface with severe flooding in the forward torpedo compartment. Weber's emergency transmission intercepted by Allied listening posts captured German confusion. Under attack. By aircraft with impossible accuracy, no radar contact detected. Request immediate tactical guidance. Similar attacks developed simultaneously against the other 3 submarines in the Wolfpack. Within 47 minutes, German Naval Command lost contact with all 4 boats converging on convoy ONS-1. For the first time in the Battle of the Atlantic, Allied forces had achieved tactical surprise against German submarines using technological superiority rather than numerical advantage. Psychological crisis. Within 72 hours, G. Admiral Dunit's Operations Center in Laurent received reports of impossible Allied detection capabilities from surviving submarine commanders across the North Atlantic. Captain Leighton, Franz Weber, sole survivor of U-628, provided testimony that challenged 3 years of German tactical doctrine. During post-rescue interrogation by Allied intelligence officers, Viva described attack patterns that seemed to violate the laws of physics. They found us when we were completely submerged. The aircraft approached directly to our position without search patterns. They knew exactly where we were. German submarine psychology had been built on the fundamental principle of invisibility. Crews endured weeks of claustrophobic conditions, constant danger, and mechanical stress because they believed their submarines were undetectable when properly operated. The revelation that Allied forces could track submerged submarines shattered the psychological foundation. Radio intercepts decoded by Allied crypto-analysts revealed the scope of German confusion. On March 24th, U-Boat Command transmitted, "All boats report detection methods used by enemy aircraft. Impossible accuracy suggests new capability unknown to intelligence." By March 26th, multiple boats report immediate aircraft response to periscope observations, recommend emergency tactical review. The psychological impact cascaded through the entire German submarine force. Crews who had previously conducted routine periscope observations now treated each surfacing as potentially fatal exposure. Battery charging operations previously conducted with confidence during nighttime hours became exercises in terror. Captain Suaz Ibahatkot documented the morale crisis in his operations diary. Submarine commanders requesting permission to abort patrols. Crews report inability to maintain normal operations when detection appears certain. Wolfpack tactics impossible. When individual boats cannot remain undetected. German naval intelligence launched desperate investigations into Allied detection capabilities. Teams examined captured Allied equipment, interrogated prisoners, and analyzed every available technical document. They discovered references to improved radar systems, but found no evidence of the revolutionary airborne capabilities actually being deployed. The psychological warfare aspects proved as devastating as the physical destruction of submarines. German crews began reporting phantom aircraft contacts, imaginary radar detection, and obsessive concerns about electromagnetic emissions. Submarine commanders modified standard operating procedures, reducing periscope observations and extending submerged operations beyond safe limits. Medical officers at German submarine bases reported unprecedented rates of combat fatigue, nervous exhaustion, and requests for transfer to surface vessels. The elite submarine service, previously considered the most prestigious assignment in the Kriegsmarine, began experiencing recruitment difficulties for the first time since 1940. Most critically, German submarine commanders began avoiding contact with Allied convoys. The aggressive tactics that had sunk millions of tons of Allied shipping gave way to defensive operations focused on survival rather than attack. Wolfpack formations dispersed as individual submarines prioritized concealment over coordinated assault. By April 1943, German submarine effectiveness had declined by 60% despite no reduction in the number of operational boats. The technological revolution had created a psychological revolution that transformed German submarines from hunters into hunted prey, fundamentally altering the strategic balance in the Battle of the Atlantic. The destruction of Wolfpack Stürmer on March 22, 1943 created a psychological crisis that reverberated through German naval command faster than the shock waves from exploding depth charges. Within 72 hours, Gross Admiral Donut's Operations Center in Laura received reports of impossible Allied detection capabilities from surviving submarine commanders across the North Atlantic. Captain Lieutenant Fron Weber, sole survivor of U-628, provided testimony that challenged 3 years of German tactical doctrine. During post-rescue interrogation by Allied intelligence officers, Weber described